Roger Ebert didn't hold back when it came to bad comedies, and his brutal reviews left no survivors. From flops that tried too hard to jokes that fell flat, we're counting down the 10 worst comedy movies ever. Ebert famously said this film, which might as well stand for B.S, is jaw-droppingly bad. Directed by Robert Townsend, the 1997 comedy follows two black American princesses trying to make it in LA by auditioning for a music video. But the vulgar stereotypes, complete with over-the-top hairstyles and shiny golden teeth, weren't funny. They were offensive. Ebert summed it up perfectly. The movie doesn't work, but was there any way this material could ever have worked? Babies are cute, right? But baby geniuses somehow made them creepy. This 1999 comedy assumes that watching babies talk, scheme, and do karate would be comedy gold. Spoiler alert, it's not. Kathleen Turner and Christopher Lloyd star in this story about super-intelligent infants in a secretive lab, but honestly, that plot alone should have been enough to send up a red flag. Ebert didn't hold back in his review, and neither should you. Rob Schneider reprises his role as the world's most unlikely gigolo, only now he's solving murders in Amsterdam. It's every bit as ridiculous as it sounds. Schneider's usual shtick of sex jokes falls flat here, and the movie ends up mocking the elderly and disabled without a shred of shame. Ebert didn't mince words, calling it tasteless, forced, and just plain bad. Even the casting of Eddie Griffin couldn't save this one. Spoiler: junior high-level humor doesn't carry a film. Hollywood's obsession with turning old TV shows into movies strikes again. The Dukes of Hazzard was Jay Chandrasekhar's attempt to bring the classic 80s series to the big screen, with Johnny Knoxville, Sean William Scott, and Jessica Simpson in the lead roles. This movie feels like it was greenlit for one reason: getting Jessica Simpson into those Daisy Duke shorts. Even Burt Reynolds as Boss Hogg and Willie Nelson as Uncle Jesse couldn't rescue this disaster. Ebert found it practically unwatchable, and you will too. 20th Century Fox knew what they were doing when they let Tom Green make Freddy Got Fingered. But the real question is, why? Green plays an aspiring animator, but it's really just an excuse for him to pull off a series of gross, unfunny gags, including jokes about child molestation. Ebert didn't hold back, calling it a vomitorium, and audiences agreed. The film swept the Razzies, but Tom Green still defends it to this day. Body swap comedies usually guarantee some laughs, but the hot chick struggles to even hit that low bar. Rob Schneider squeezes out a few chuckles. The script is a total mess. The story centers on a sleazy criminal, Clive Schneider, who swaps bodies with high school mean girl Jessica, Rachel McAdams. Even Adam Sandler shows up because it's a Happy Madison production, but somehow forgets to bring the jokes. Meet Joe Dirt, a self-proclaimed blue-collar guy who's always covered in dirt. If that doesn't sound funny, it's because it's not. David Spade plays Joe, who's on a journey to find his long-lost parents, but his dirty shtick wears thin fast. The movie's reliance on gross-out humor makes it painful to sit through. While Joe Dirt somehow gained a cult following, it's clear why Ebert wasn't a fan. There are no actual mad dogs in Mad Dog Time, but this movie could have used them to spice things up. Billed as a comedic gangster flick, it stars Jeff Goldblum as Mickey Holiday, an enforcer for mob boss Vic, Richard Dreyfuss. The cast is huge, with more cameos than you can count, but Ebert nailed it when he said the actors perform their lines like condemned prisoners. Ebert didn't mince words when he called North one of the worst movies ever made. And honestly, he wasn't wrong. The premise is ridiculous. A kid, Elijah Wood, is fed up with his parents, so he sets off to find new ones. The result is a bizarre, unfunny series of events that fail to land on any level. Directed by Rob Reiner, the same guy who made Misery and A Few Good Men, this movie feels like a rare misfire. Ebert's famous rant about it sums it up. I hated this movie. Hated every simpering, stupid, vacant, audience-insulting moment of it. This is a French screwball comedy that misses the mark by a mile. The plot involves a French anthropologist trying to score a research grant from a rich businesswoman, Sigourney Weaver, who's pretending to be someone else. The movie focuses way too much on the stupidity of its characters, especially the scientist who somehow misses all the obvious signs around him. Ebert didn't hold back, calling it out for its unbalanced shenanigans and lack of real humor.